We are live, baby. Episode 55 of The Shift. I'm yelling as loud as possible right now because I'm up here in my new living space in my attic where I got look at this. I got all this space to yell as loud as I can, Nick Earnshaw. Episode 55 from my new spot. Your spot? Are you okay? Is that too loud? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt your little baby ears. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. 55.
You sound good.
Here. How you doing, bud?
You sound good. You sound good. I can hear you. I think your neighbors across the street can hear you. Down the street, 3 miles away, can hear you too. So that's listen, they got to tune into the shift. They know to tune into the shift right now. You know, when it gets loud at the Rojas household, you know they're gonna tune into the shift. We know what time it is, especially around this time of night.
I'm trying to replicate Citizens Bank Park in the postseason. That's why I want the noise level to be up. You know what I mean? Like I want that type of atmosphere every single episode for the shift. I want a Citizens Bank Park. You know what I mean? I want that type of environment for our show because I feel like that's the type of electricity that we have for our show. You know what I'm saying?
I like it. I like it. I love the enthusiasm. I'm always there. I like to match the energy when, usually for the most part for every show I do. So like, I'm with you there. But what do you got on at this game? Are you an opposing fan with your other jersey on, or?
See, my mom was just here, right? We're gonna talk about it, right? Because I didn't bring it up. You brought it up.
I just said
call everybody. They all bring it up.
All I said was, do you have an opposing jersey on, or are you wearing a Phillies jersey? I just wanted to know because I don't know where you're at.
I was referring to here. You knew what I was referring to.
Listen. I'm just a guy talking right now. I got a microphone in front of me. I'm just a guy.
Yeah, just a radio guy, just a podcaster. Yeah, just a baseball guy. Yep. Nernshaw Radio. Go follow him, baby. Go follow him. You can also follow me at Rojas_media_ on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? I tell the people. I don't need to write it down. Like, I'll just tell you so you can remember that way, which doesn't really make any sense, but who cares? Other than that, you doing okay, bud? How you feeling?
I'm doing fantastic. Had a good Memorial Day weekend. Got down to the beach kind of a little bit on Sunday. I still got my glow. I still got my tan, so I'm good. I got that from Florida. I'm still rocking it. Got to get it down to the beach again soon. Got out on the golf course this weekend, so that was fantastic. Had a good time. Had a good weekend. How about you?
It sounds like you had a really good weekend. Yeah, I had a good weekend too. I told you before the show we had some family over. We had some good food courtesy of my mother, who makes phenomenal food. You know what I'm saying? Made that for the family. Awesome. We sat out back, had a nice time. And then yesterday, had work at WIP. So I was there. I did the Phillies podcast in the morning. Then, throughout the day, did a few shows. Al Morganti, Tom Kelly.
There you go.
Broads. Yeah, it was a good time. Well, it was a good weekend overall. You know what I mean? It was a good weekend. So could not complain one bit. But we do have some baseball to talk about, a lot of things to get into, some good stuff, some bad stuff, some bad news, some really big breaking news, that has happened recently, that's going to shake up, or that has shaken up the baseball world. We'll get to that. And the meat and potatoes, we'll get to that for sure. A legendary umpire retires. We'll react to that. You know what I mean? We'll react to that.
Oh, that's a big one. That's a big one. We got a lot to say about that one.
Yeah, I'm curious. I'm curious that conversation because we haven't really talked about it. We just mentioned it to each other, but we haven't really talked about it because I feel like we're on. Yeah. I want to say I feel like we're on different ends of the spectrum as far as that goes, but we will find out. All of us are going to find out. Me, you, the audience. You know what I'm saying? Everyone's going to find out just a little bit. Yeah. So we got to get some good topics. I'm going to tease those. You're going to find out some of these other topics in just a little bit. I don't want to tease too much because you don't want a 10-minute tease. You just a short tease. Just a short tease.
Little tease. Just a little tease. Little tease.
Nick, so we I definitely wanted to mention this off the bat because it's just the news came out about this, within the last 3 or 4 hours. And a couple of years ago, right, Nick, Baseball Reference decided to incorporate Negro League statistics on their database. And I think that was 2020. Could be wrong. But 2020,
yeah, I believe it was
2020, right?
2020, yeah.
And now, 4 years later, Major League Baseball has decided they are going to incorporate Negro League stats into their historical records tomorrow, according to USA Today's Bob Nightingale. So, for example, Josh Gibson will be pretty much the career leader in all these categories now. Career batting average, 372. Ty Cobb originally, 366, right? Career slugging, 718. Career OPS, just under 1,200. And the single season batting title, 446. Pretty darn good, if you ask me. And a couple of other stats as well. But you get the picture. Nick, let's start with you. What are your general thoughts here? Both of us just recently went to a panel discussion, on Negro League, just the Negro League in general, but also the stats too. We saw that. I think it was like a month and a half ago.
Something like that.
So what are your thoughts here?
So listen, I think this is something we knew that was coming. It was very interesting. So I guess this was in end of February, early March that we attended this panel discussion, right? It was breaking barriers in the Negro Leagues and beyond. Former Philly Milt Thompson was there. Sean Foreman, the founder of Baseball Reference, was there, and he got into this very in depth while we were at this panel discussion. So that was kind of the first time. Like, I think I remember reading about it in like 2020, a couple years back, but then it was like kind of reintroduced, right? When we went to this panel discussion at CCST, where I'm employed at 91.5 WDBK. That's where I'm at. And they held an event at the college at the Cherry Hill campus, and we got to attend it. I said, yo, Fran, why don't you come down and check this out? It'll be pretty cool. So we did, and it was a very cool discussion. Sean, who is in charge of Baseball Reference, talked about that this was coming. So, like, when we saw the news break today, it's like, oh, we already knew this. We saw this coming for a while now, and this is pretty cool. I mean, it's a long time coming. Should have happened a long time ago. I'm glad the effort was put into doing this. I mean, because essentially it's the same, right? They're considered major leagues. It's the same thing, man. And baseball is baseball, and this is an exciting thing. I mean, Gibson, man, he's leading all the categories, man. My favorite batting average. Oh, that is fantastic that he's going to be leading that. So that's really cool. You mentioned slugging, OPS as well. So it's going to be approximately 3,400 players who played in 7 leagues between 1920 and 1948. They will be a part of the official Major League record now in the record books and be integrated into all of those statistics. Very cool stuff. I'm glad it finally happened. History is history, and you got to show it all, the entire picture. I want the entire picture, and this is a great job by Major League Baseball here. For sure. So really cool stuff. But yeah, Josh Gibson, man, he's leading all these categories now. If you're not familiar with the name, I highly recommend do a little research on Mr. Gibson for sure.
Yeah. So all right. So no, for sure. We had Josh Gibson's grandson. It's actually the interviews on this channel. Back when me and shout out to Ashley Woods, we both got to interview. We got to interview Sean Gibson. We got to interview him back in 2021, I believe. Was it 2020 or 2021? And it was really cool. He's been kind of, making his rounds for a long time, trying to get, the stats and everything. Josh Gibson more recognized, Negro Leagues in general. Just kind of how we saw at the panel, in South Jersey. And it was awesome. It was great to interview him. It was really interesting. I'd never really, had an interview like that with someone. So that was really, really cool. You can go check that out. I'll have the link to that in the description box for sure. if you haven't checked it out before. So here's kind of how I feel about this. I feel like two different ways about this, and I don't want I don't want to say a negative part of this to overlook the good parts, because the good parts are that this finally happens. Like that, there's you can look at research online, like you can read stuff. The Negro Leagues potentially were more talented. They were more talented than some of these guys in the majors. So you could say like, oh well, the Negro Leagues, well they weren't the majors. Well, no, they weren't the majors. They were arguably better. Now I didn't see it with my own eyes. I'm just going off of research, right? Just going off of research that I had done in the past. So that's one thing. So there is that part to it. But the other part to it, Nick, and the part that and maybe this is going to be something that maybe you can help me with, that I'm going to have to kind of learn how to look at this different ways, is that, okay, so MLB's database now says that Josh Gibson is the all-time leader in batting average, and he has a single season. I mean, he also only had, according to, these are just rough numbers. I guess they don't have all the data that they can get, at least Baseball Reference initially. He only has 2,100 career ABs versus Ty Cobb's 11,000.
Right.
And I'm not saying that Josh Gibson isn't like a worthy legend. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, for me now looking at that, it's kind of hard for me to say that is this guy like really the all-time GOAT. I'm not one of those people that's, you know what I mean? I'm not one of those people saying, oh, well, screw them, just screw them. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's just a little weird for me to look at. Maybe this is going to be something I'm going to have to get used to. Obviously, like Jackie Robinson came over from the Negro Leagues and was incredible here. Hall of Famer in his own right. Not denying that stuff. I'm just saying, it's tough. It's a tough thing to kind of grapple with. I guess there's some people that, this took a while for me to get over it. The steroid guys, like how I am with the steroid guys, that like, look, every era is different. Every era is different, and that's just how it was. And it just seems like some people have trouble looking at Bonds with 762 versus Hank 755. I know that's kind of a different subject, but I guess it's just that that lens that I'm looking at this from is saying like, okay, so how am I supposed to really read this now? Like, is Josh Gibson really the all-time? Like, I don't know. So that's kind of where I'm at. I think it's great. I just think it's something that I'm going to have to kind of, learn how to grapple with this from a different perspective. That's all.
No, I hear where you're coming from, but I think the best part about this is now we can debate it, right? Now we can debate it. It now enters more into the mainstream discussion now, in case you weren't aware of this, right? Like that, I think that's what's so good about it. Like, all right, compared to Ty Cobb, didn't have as many ABs. Okay, that's definitely something that you can now debate about. But I think that's the part that's so important here. Is like, now we can have those discussions, right? Like, we can really debate, okay, because he didn't have this many ABs, is he really the best of all time? Like, I think that's what's so great about this, and it's going to be more visible for everyone to see. And that's kind of where I'm at with it. Like, I don't know if I consider him the GOAT of all time. You know what I mean? Because he's definitely one of the all-time greats. Like, now you can put him into that discussion, because now it's going to be in the more mainstream discussion. And I think that's the best part about this entire thing, which is really cool. So I think Gibson's definitely one of the best. He's in the conversation. Is he the GOAT? I don't know if I'll put him as the GOAT, but he's in the conversation for sure. 1,000%. Having those type of numbers. I think that it's extremely important. So yeah, it's definitely big to get Gibson into those conversations though, and start having. That's what's so great about this, in my estimation.
Yeah, I agree. And I forget where I read today about just that the people that kind of made this happen as well. They do it for the people that are debating these type of things in barbershops and, on street corners or just me and you doing the podcast. Yeah. So it's good. It's good conversation. It's good. Yeah. No, I'm all for it. I think it's a good way to look at it. So for sure.
Definitely.
So great news we got today about the Negro League stats being integrated here into MLB's database. Great news. A little, long time coming, but it happened. So, we celebrate it now. So, good thing to have for us currently. So, Nick, I'm gonna let you take the reins here for the meat potatoes because you're eating right now, right? You're still eating your spare popcorn?
No, I finished it.
You finished it?
I finished it. Yeah. I know. So the meat and potatoes, listen, I was really hungry. I don't know why. I feel like I've had 3 dinners, which is pretty funny. Like I got growing? I think after the show, even though it's going to be late, I mean, the Phillies game comes on a little late tonight. They're on the West Coast.
You're going to eat more.
I think we have to make another meal down there. I don't know. Am I going out of the kitchen? I might make another meal. I don't know why. It's one of those days I'm just hungry.
That brings up a good question. We don't do side topics, but we could always do a side topic.
Oh no.
Do you feel like you have to eat something when you're sitting down watching something? Because I feel like that a lot.
Yes.
I just like to eat. That's definitely my excuse. I would always make the excuse of like, oh yeah, I'm hungry. And I'm like, I just had dinner. It's like clearly you're not hungry.
Yeah, sometimes I just eat out of habit and like I don't know, it's like a nervous thing for me. You know what I mean? Like especially when I'm watching like a big game or something, I gotta have something. Like I don't know, it doesn't matter what I'm eating. You know what I mean? If it's like chips or something like that, I gotta it's like a nervous tick or something. I gotta have something. I gotta have like M&Ms or something.
Yeah, dude, I was watching
a little sweet treat or something like that.
I was watching Saul 2 last night, eating hot Cheetos.
Oh, you're a hot Cheetos guy.
Yeah. So I was like, I'm watching a movie tonight. I gotta eat some hot Cheetos. I gotta do this. It's like if I go to the movies, I can't not have popcorn. I literally won't go to the movies if there's not popcorn.
No, I need something. Need something like Mike and Ike's Twizzlers as well. Like that has to be there. Like I have to have something. Now for me lately, over the course of the past couple months, so I'm 23 years of age. I have never liked mint chocolate chip ice cream until this year. I have it all the time now. I'm a big mint chocolate chip ice cream guy now. I've grown up. As you could say, I've grown up. My taste buds have started to change. I'm big on mint chocolate chip ice cream. Never was my entire life until a few months back, and now I'm in on them.
Yeah, no, I won't. I was thinking about ripping you because that's what I do 99% of the time. Is I just think about how I can, I just rip into you. But I like mint chocolate chip ice cream. I was having some the other night actually. I actually like mixing it with some vanilla ice cream. I like to get the mixture. So I'm weird like that. But
that's interesting.
No, there's some. It's not that weird, dude. It's like vanilla ice cream with what I'm saying, vanilla and chocolate. Like
pick one. Would you just pick one?
Maybe I like variety.
just pick one.
Yeah. When you go to the ball game, what do you get with the helmet? Right? Do you get? Chocolate. Oh, you're a fraud. You need to get the mix. You need to get the chocolate vanilla mix. What are you doing?
Well, that's fine, but you're going mint chocolate chip and vanilla. That's chocolate twist.
It's not that weird.
That's goofy. It's not weird. It's a little goofy. That's where I'll leave it.
Yeah, maybe you should try it for yourself. And anyone that wants to judge out there, maybe you should try it for yourself. How about that? I meant that nicely.
I certainly won't. Oh
yeah, because you're closed-minded clown. I mean, you sound like my mother. Oh my god. Anyway, you get what you give. That's what I told my mom. My mom says, "Oh, Fran, you're always mean to me." I'm like, no, you get what you give. You disrespectful to me. I'm gonna be disrespectful to you. No, it's good. You get what you give.
Be nice. That's all I'm gonna say. Be nice to your mom. Be nice to everyone else. All right? Would you? Jeez.
So tonight's side topic. Do you feel like you need to eat something when you're watching a ball game, when you're watching a movie? Do you feel like you have to? Comment hit us on Twitter, _media. You can also comment on StreamYard. Is that how it is? StreamYard here, or is it Twitter?
No,
no, it's Twitter.
It's Twitter. It's Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, man.
Yeah. Well,
I gotta keep you older guys in the loop here.
I'm not that old.
I gotta do.
You're gonna be there as soon as I'll be 30 in 7 months. Stupid. So dumb.
Good for you.
All right.
Good for you.
What's all right? I know, big 3-0. I can't wait. Tell us, what's the first subject here of the meat and potatoes, Nick?
All right. So first subject here, meat and potatoes. We're gonna stay in the NL East. We'll go to Ronald Acuna. So Ronald Acuna is now out for the season. Tore his ACL. We reposted a clip the other day. He was on second base, taking a lead, tried going back, non-contact injury. It has come out that he is out for the year. It didn't come out right away, which is funny. It came out like, it looks okay. And then all of a sudden, boom, ACL, which was interesting. So the Braves lose their MVP from last year. Now, Acuna was having a little bit of a down year, batting .250 on the season, 4 home runs. His OBP was down. It's at 351 on the season. It was up around like 416, I think. Last year, his career is 379. So his numbers were a little bit down. He was struggling out in the outfield. We saw that error a couple of weeks ago that he did make that kind of went viral around the socials. But, he is out for the year. This is a big loss for the Braves. They haven't felt like the Braves this year, you know what I mean, as they've been over the past couple of seasons. So he's out for the year. And, he's missed some time, half the year in 2021 as well when they won the World Series. So he's had some injury problems as well. So Ronald Acuna out for the year, done for the Braves. So Fran, I mean, this is big news for the Braves. The reigning MVP out for the season. Not great if you're Atlanta.
Yeah, and so I guess like our question here is like, what does it mean for the Braves, right? So, I think it's dumb to say, like, oh, well, Atlanta did this in 2021. Like, oh, maybe it's I was at work. I think it was yesterday or over the week. Yeah, it was yesterday because it just happened.
Yeah.
And a caller said, like, well, this would be a good thing for the Braves. Like, let's not do that. The guy just won MVP last year. It's not that doesn't really make any sense.
Is
okay?
Is it because he's having a little bit of a down year? His numbers are down. Like he's been struggling. Like, is that why?
No, well,
because
I guess
they won in 21.
The thing is like, oh, well, the Braves, they did it in 2021, and now, the Braves are going to come together now. It's going to make them come together.
I'm sorry. That is a dumbass argument. A dumbass point.
The guy hit 40 homers last year, stole 70 bases, won MVP. Like, let's relax. If Bryce Harper goes down, you're not going to be saying, oh, it's good for the Phillies. They're gonna come together. Shut up. So anyway, here's how I feel about this, right? I definitely, my first takeaway, for sure, I'll give you a couple of takeaways here. My first takeaway is, as soon as Strider went down, I thought the Phillies were, we've had this conversation on the show. I felt the Phillies were definitely winning the division. Now I know the Phillies are going to win the division. Like, it's going to happen. Like, I'm looking through the crystal ball. Phillies have won 106 games, break the record. They win the division. Braves win like 92, get the wild card. Like, I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it in front of my, like, I got those That's So Raven psychic powers. You know what I mean? So I can see that. I can see it happening right now. Okay. The Braves are not winning the division. It's not happening. It's not. Okay. But I will say this. Do not count them out as a contender. They are still stacked to the bone. If Chris Sale can stay healthy, and I mean, Chris Sale's looking like White Sox Chris Sale. I don't get it. I mean, I do get it, but I don't get it. You know what I mean? I mean, this is what the Braves do. They get pitchers and they're all of a sudden, oh, look at you. You're Chris Sale from 2015. How did we do that? We did it. So I'm not counting that as a contender. Still stacked offensively as well. Matt Olson, Austin Riley, yes, having a down year, but I'm not counting them out. Ozzie Albies, I mentioned Olson already. I mean, Sean Murphy, I think, is coming back from injury at some point soon. But you get what I'm saying. Michael Harris, Marcell Ozuna's been having an absurd year.
Right.
So still really talented offensively. The way I can see them, potentially contending this year, they need to have that 2021 type of trade deadline. They need to get. Remember that year they got the Solairs, they got your Rosarios, your Duvals, who has played for the Braves like 9 different times. It feels like. And then Jock Peterson. Jock Peterson didn't have like a phenomenal tenure with the Braves, but he had a big National League Divisional Series that year in 2021 for them. He came up big when they needed it. Same with Eddie Rosario. Same with Jorge Soler. Like those pieces came up big for them. And maybe they don't need those. I'm not saying they need to go at the deadline and get 3 guys that are going to win you a World Series MVP. Hopefully not, as a Phillies fan. Championship Series MVP and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying. But I think what they're going to need to do is they'll go out the deadline. Maybe they'll get a pitcher as well. But they'll need to get a variety of different players at the deadline to kind of shore themselves up. And I don't count them out, though, as a contender because I think they can have that type of trade deadline this year. We know what Alex Anthopoulos can do for them. You know what I mean? He's done it many times. So I don't count the Braves out. I do count them out of the division for sure, but I don't count them out as a contender this year. Still really good. So.
No, I still think they're a really good team. Right now, so they were platooning out in the outfield, right? With Kelenic. Now he's going to be every day. He's going to be in left field every single day now. So he's going to be there. Michael Harris is going to be in center, and Duvall is going to be in right. That's going to be essentially the starting outfield for the most part. Ozzy Albies, who's leading off? He's going to probably be the leadoff guy for a majority of the season, the rest of the year, rest of the way, according to Snicker. It seems like who he's gonna go with, right? So they're in a spot where they've been fine to start the year. They're still a really good team, like you mentioned. They're still going to contend. I wouldn't say I'm not going to count them totally out of the division yet. I'm not going to write them completely off. Atlanta's still a really good team. And if they go out of a big deadline, you never know. They get a big name, they get a big bat. You never know what could happen. So I'm not going to completely rule them out. I think the Phillies are going to win the division, especially if they stay healthy. The division's theirs. They've been unbelievable to start. I know everyone's panicking about the Phillies. They've lost 2 straight. They've only lost 2 straight 3 times. They haven't lost more than 2 straight all year. So relax, okay? The Phillies, I think, are going to win the division. But, you can't count Atlanta out. They're still really good offensively. They do need to go get more pitching. They need to get us another starting pitcher for sure. Alex Anthopoulos, he's gonna have a lot to go into for this deadline this year, right? Like he's got to get another arm. He's got to maybe add another bat now. You lose Acuna for the rest of the year, so that's trouble for them. Lose a guy like Acuna, that's gonna hurt your ball club. I know he was having a down year. I know he was struggling a little bit offensively, even in the field. It happens sometimes. It's baseball. It's May. It was early on. But the guy stole over 70 bases last year. He won the MVP. Had over 400 on-base percentage. Like, he was ridiculous. He was a huge part of their roster. And to take that MVP out of the lineup, it's gonna hurt the Braves for sure. So we'll see how creative they get at the deadline. But yeah, it's another thing. Like, they don't have like a ton of outfield depth in their farm system either. It's not like they can call like a young guy up and give him an opportunity. I think they have like 4 guys in their top 30, but they're all like single A. You know what I mean? Maybe 1 in double A. They're not ready. They're not ready, those guys. So like they have platoon guys they could bring up from AAA, etc. But yeah, at this point, it's a big loss, and they don't have that depth in the outfield that some other teams may have, or the Braves thought they had it at one point, and now they lose their MVP. So this is gonna hurt the Braves. If you don't think it's gonna hurt the Braves, I don't know what team or what sport you're watching. You're watching tennis or some other sport.
Relax. Tennis. The French
was it coming to tennis?
Right now.
Oh no, I wasn't coming to tennis. I'm just saying you're watching.
Yeah, you were. Let's rewind that. Go watch a sport. You said it with a negative connotation. You said go watch a sport like tennis or something.
No, that's not what I said. I said you're watching another sport like tennis or something. You're not watching.
Why couldn't it be basketball or football?
Because tennis was the first thing that came to my mind.
Okay. Well, I'm happy for it. Well, the French Open's happening right now, so tune in.
I know it is, and I knew it would get a rise out of you. So.
Yeah. What did you say about? Did you say something about Luis Ariz there? That was good.
Yeah, Luis Ariz.
Player
of the week, by the way.
I know he's been insane for San Diego. Good for him. Really good for him. The Tony Gwynn, the modern day Tony Gwynn. I'm happy for him.
He's been awesome. It's a shame. It's a shame. It's a shame Miami has no idea what they're doing. But
they don't. It's okay. Good. As a Phillies fan, I'm happy. All right, so I'm gonna go first here, Nick. I'm gonna give my take. Angel Hernandez has retired, and you know what, Nick? He wasn't good. No. I'm not going to sit here and say that he was a good umpire. But there were worse umpires, okay? There were worse umpires. He just happened to be the face of the bad umpires because he has that personality. Mm-hmm. We all like to have a punching bag. I will use the Philadelphia sports fan base as an example. People like to think that we are the worst sports fan base in the world and that we are crude and we are horrible and we're terrible and we're mean and we're disrespectful. And all of those things might very well be true, but every other city is like that in America when it comes to sports. I have seen it happen really a lot out in there in California. You know what I mean? I've seen it happen in other places. I see other things happen. I remember I forget what Knicks player got spit on last year in the playoffs, something like that. But no one made it about New York. Everyone just made it about that it was that incident. If it happened to Philly, people would have said it was Philly, right? I say that to say Philadelphia sports, the fan base, they are the punching bag for people. Anytime something happens, they say, "Oh, it's Philly." Anytime Angel Hernandez makes a bad strike call or makes or ejects somebody and it's because of a bad call. It's like, oh, Angel being Angel again, right? Laz Diaz is pretty bad too. There are a lot of other bad umpires out there. They just don't have that personality that Angel Hernandez has. Okay? So it's an end of an era. Not saying Angel is good by any means, but Angel Hernandez just happened to be the face of the bad umpires. And I believe Aaron Boone kind of had a similar take on this when he did his hit with John Boy Media. That's kind of what sparked this idea. I kind of had this take. I've had this take inside of me for a while, Nick. But now that he has retired, which, by the way, I thought was weird timing. I don't know why he just decided to all of a sudden retire. I do know why, because MLB approached him and he was like, I guess it's time. But just weird that it's like, in the middle of May. It's not like it's like November after the season's over, after he's blown another bad call in the World Series or something. But that's kind of my take, Nick, is that he was just he was the punching bag for the bad umpires. He wasn't the actual worst umpire. He was just the face or the punching bag of the bad umpires. So Angel, I actually appreciate Angel because it created good content. You know what I mean? Created good content. And look, 100%. The people that want the human element with the robots and everything like that.
Oh, he gave it to you.
An Angel. He gave you the human element. So what are your thoughts, Mr. Earnshaw?
Okay. So you're right. Statistically, he was not the worst. Statistically.
I know.
He was not the worst. Statistically, he's not the worst. But you're wrong in this sense. You're dead wrong in this sense. He is the worst umpire. I don't care. He deserved to be the punching bag. The attitude also has to be ingrained in there, Francisco. What are we doing here? I get it. He statistically is not the worst, but he was really bad at that too. Like he was one of the worst. He wasn't statistically the worst umpire, but he was one of the worst. But if you add all of it, the culmination of all aspects, he was the worst umpire overall. When you add in the attitude that he had too, that he thought he was this tough guy out there throwing Bryce Harper out of games, Kyle Schwarber, other players, managers, etc. Like, give me a break. Sayonara, Angel. Goodbye. Enjoy retirement. Have fun. Go visit Cancun. Sit on a beach somewhere. Enjoy yourself. Goodbye. Good riddance. He was a disgrace. He was one of the worst umpires I have ever seen in my life. And this year, I mean, he went viral for missing 3 straight calls. 3 straight calls.
Langford at bat.
They were outside the zone. Wait, I got more stats for you.
It was really bad.
I got more stats for you.
It was like a foot outside the zone.
He worked 10 games last year. And then was out the rest of the season due to a back injury. He was on the umpire IL. But he missed in 10 games 161 calls according to the umpire auditor. Don't we remember 2018 ALDS, 3 overturned calls in game 3 of the ALDS. This guy was the worst. He was the worst. Goodbye. I don't care. I'm dropping my phone. Who cares? I understand. Statistically, was not the worst umpire. He was there for 3 decades. Joe West even came out to defend him because, the awful umpires will defend awful umpires. Good for them.
Yeah, I didn't agree with Joe West.
He is the worst because the attitude and the culmination of everything, the way he approached all that type of stuff. Goodbye, sayonara, Angel Hernandez. It's an era that we are glad is over. See ya.
Dude, this whole attitude thing. What are you talking about? What kind of attitude did he have?
Have we not seen him throw players out for arguing stupidity of like awful calls? Because he had this ego of being better, and
so does every other umpire. And so does every other umpire.
But why was it so widespread throughout the majors and so known that he was the guy? There's a reason he was the punching bag. This is why he was the punching bag.
I hear you because he had the personality. I get that, but also like, what about the ump that threw out Bryce over the weekend? That was stupid. I hated his attitude. He just stood there.
I agree.
Like nothing. I hated it. Yeah. I'd rather have Angel.
I agree. I agree. I'm not saying there's not other bad ump. There's 100% other bad umpires, but he's the face for a reason. He was an awful umpire. He was terrible at it. There's a reason people complained about him for years and years.
And I'm saying,
who was it? The former Miami Marlins. He has a podcast, President of Baseball Operations. His name's escaping me at the moment. But he said that no, he said that that Major League Baseball, like teams complained about Angel Hernandez, right? Mm-hmm. The response from Major League Baseball is that he's bad to both sides. He's equally bad to both teams. When you have Major League Baseball, he was equally bad to both teams. When you have teams complaining about this guy, and that's Major League Baseball's response, you got to be the GOAT and be the worst, okay? You're the greatest of all time at being the worst. Boom.
Yeah, you're overdoing it. It's not like he's the Tim Donaghy. It's not like he was betting on games and like giving teams the advantage.
See,
I'm so happy that I was at the Kyle Schwarber game. I was there, man. I was there.
Were you?
I was, and I'll always remember that. I was sitting. It was funny. I had the luxury of sitting behind home plate that night. It was like 4 whatever levels up. But I had the honor of watching Angel Hernandez and that legendary call. But everyone's overdoing it. I feel for Angel in one sense, but I also think it's honestly, no. I have like all these emotions all over the place, like I normally do. The Angel, and I don't understand how these are getting so much traction. The Angel jokes on Twitter are kind of getting stupid, dumb, and old. They're like, what did I just see recently? When Angel made a call to MLB to retire or whatever, he missed the call or it's so stupid. It's not funny. It's like genuinely I just think it's not good humor. It's like it's predictable and it's not funny. And maybe I sound like I'm a fan of Angel or something like that. You know what I mean? I'm not a fan of Angel. I'm just more of a fan of it was just a punching bag. You know what I'm saying? Maybe because I'm a punching bag. You know what I mean? I look at me as a punching bag in life. So maybe this is me speaking out for all the other punching bags out there. You know what I mean? I'm the punching bag at work. I'm the punching bag everywhere. So maybe this is me speaking out on behalf of all punching bags.
Maybe it is. Maybe it is because he was terrible. He was the worst. So I was on 97.3 today, and we went over the betting odds on what his next job will be, like weatherman, or there was some low flows. And we went through the entire odds. It was fantastic.
This is so dumb.
I can't.
Can you see that?
And signature on it.
No, it's not funny. It's stupid.
I think they're great. I love memes. I'm a big meme guy.
Yeah,
I think they're fantastic. Fantastic. Oh, it's great. But he's gone. No need to worry anymore. Someone else will take his place soon. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
There's some CB Buckner's up there too. When he retires, when CB Buckner retires, I'll rip him too. So don't worry. It's across.
Yeah, no, you won't. No, you won't though. It's not gonna be a big thing. It's gonna be a big thing because the Mr. Punching Bag retired. Anyway,
CB will be the new one. So
anyway, I'd like you to take the reins here for the last topic for this segment, for the meat and potatoes, because I know you are just. You're obsessive over these two players. And, I'm a fan of these two guys too. But you're the guy here. So go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'll give you credit. You thought of this topic. This was your topic. This was your being. I did not come up with this topic. So we put out a poll question on the Shift Media account on Twitter. Yes. What is more likely to happen? Gunnar Henderson with 50 home runs or Elly De La Cruz with 100 stolen bases? That was the poll we put out, and that's the question we're going to ask right now. Elly versus Gunnar. So will Gunnar have 50 home runs or will Elly have 100 stolen bases? I will start, and I will say, this is tough for me. This is tough. One of my young Orioles over there, and then my guy, Elly De La Cruz. So Elly has been fantastic. Gunnar's been absolutely mashing the baseball. Second in the league in home runs. He has been awesome. So, this is hard for me to pit a guy or choose one because I want them all to eat. Can I say both? Am I allowed to say both? I won't.
Nope.
I won't because I think there is one right answer here. And it's got to be Elly De La Cruz. Elly De La Cruz will have 100 stolen bases this year.
Oh my!
He is on pace right now. So he is on pace. I have some numbers for you. Okay,
he's on pace for 93.
He is on pace for 103, buddy. 103.
I thought it was
162 games.
It was
103. I read 103. According to MLB.com, 103. Okay.
Okay. You could be right.
So he's on pace for 162 games. He is on pace for 103 stolen bases as of right now. Fantastic. Awesome stuff. We love to see it. He could be the fifth player in the modern era to have 100 stolen bases. The first since Vince Coleman in 1987, okay, with the St. Louis Cardinals. And him and Ricky are the only ones who have done it 3 times. They've each done it 3 times, had 100 stolen bases in a year. And this is the reason why. He doesn't get thrown out a lot. Elly doesn't get thrown out a lot. When he hit 30 stolen bases this year, he's 30 of 35. He's 85% success rate at stealing bases. So when you're stealing that much, you're going to get thrown out each month. Your numbers aren't going to be in the 90 percentile, right? You're 85 is a pretty good number. And he'll steal multiple bags a game. And with the pace he's on right now, 30 already. We're only in May, right? We're at 40 plus games right now. Still have a long way to go. I think at the rate he's been playing and the electricity he brings on the base pass, especially combined with the rules, I think it is very, very doable that he does hit 100 stolen bases this year. I think that is possible. I think it's because of the success rate. He's able to do it, the amount of times he steals per game, and he's got the speed as well. He has the speed, and he's on pace, Francisco. So I'm going to share the screen real quick, too, because when it comes to Elly De La Cruz, I'm ready to go.
Prepared. Yeah, I know you are.
I prepare for my other the subjects, but when it comes to Mr. De La Cruz,
right,
I prepare like overboard. I go crazy, finding crazy statistics. So this is MLB.com, and if you can see that right there, the race. This is the 100 stolen base pace, okay, and he's right on track. If you look, if you can see right there, he's right on track. So Elly's down at the bottom. His line is going straight. That's the 100 stolen base track. Okay, this is on MLB.com. If you want to zoom in, et cetera, you want to check it out for yourself. The article is, can Elly bring back the 100 steal season? And guess what, Fran? I am saying yes. Elly 100 steals over Gunnar's 50 home runs. Boom. Pack it in. That's what's going to happen by the end of the year.
All right. Yeah. I agree with you. I know. Relax.
Welcome to the Correct Cruises fan club, okay?
And look, in all seriousness, Gunnar's had a monster start here. Obviously,
it's been awesome.
17 homers. He's looking like Chris Davis, but 10 times better version of Chris Davis, because he can actually do everything else besides hit home runs. But look, man, Gunnar's been incredible. I just think that I look at Elly's track record, what he's done to this point. He stole 35 bags in 98 games last year. He has what does he have this year? What's the exact number, Nick? I'm sorry. I think it's 31, right? 31.
Yeah, 31, yep.
I just feel like what I've seen from Elly, 66 stolen bases in 152 career games so far. I feel more confident that he can do it because I've seen him steal close to 70 bags in almost a full season worth for his career so far. And there's those games where he just, let's be honest, man. Let's call it for what it is. He picks up a lot of garbage time steals. Like they'll be up like 5-0 in the 9th inning, and he'll steal third, like an a-hole. Let's be real. Let's call it for what it is. I like Elly De La Cruz a lot, but this is going towards the take here. It's just the honest. Go ahead. Say what you want to say.
I'm just saying, you can't lay your foot off the gas, Francisco. Okay, you can never do that. And Elly doesn't do that. That's why I love. You can never take your foot off the gas. Go ahead, continue.
Yeah. Okay. But the way I see it is that Elly has been doing this for a couple of years now. Not to say Gunnar can't do it, but I can definitely see Gunnar having more of a chance to cool off a little bit and maybe have like a 35 to 40 homer season this year than Elly cooling off. Because I can definitely see Elly, if he does cool off a little bit, it'll just be by a little bit, right? It'll be like, I definitely think he's stealing like 80 bases this year. No problem. So I'm with Gunnar, man. I'm not Gunnar. I'm with Elly, man. I'm with Elly. All
right.
So,
and that's more
you're
fun.
Welcome. You're welcome.
See, join the fun team. You're having fun today. Look at you. I'm getting you to have fun. Have fun.
If I had said Gunnar, what would you have said? Would you say? What would you have said?
I wouldn't be mad at you for taking the safe pick. I wouldn't be mad. But listen, I love Gunnar. You know I love Gunnar. But Elly's gonna get the 100 stolen. That's a more fun stat too than 50 home runs. I've seen that plenty of times. 100 stolen bases. This guy but it legitimately, like, he could get there. Like the pace he's on right now, he could get there. And he'll steal 4 bags a game. You know what I mean? Like, he can do that. He can steal 5 bases in a game if he's walking or whatever. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think this is very doable, very, very much in the cards as a possibility that can definitely happen. And he's on the right track. He's on the right track right now. And and with the rules and everything that's changed, I think this is something that's very, very possible. We saw Acuna had 70 plus last year, 73, I believe. So I don't see why not. Full season for Elly De La Cruz. He's even better this year than he was last year. Yeah, I could see him getting 100 for sure.
So I'm just doing the math real quick, just to make sure, not to get you all sad. I did 31 stolen bases divided by 54 games that he's played. Okay. And then I multiplied that by 162 games, and he's on pace for 93 stolen bases.
So he's on 93. Okay.
Yeah, maybe the article that you had read, it was probably 100.
A couple games back, right?
Yeah. So no. Just making sure that the right numbers out there. But Yeah, still close to 100, and I definitely put my money on Elly for 100 over Gunnar right now.
It can happen.
All right. So let's close out the show with a very interesting story, Nick, on this D3 baseball team, Birmingham Southern College.
Yeah,
a team that has been one of the fourth winningest team in Division III since 2010, since you were like a year old. You know what I'm saying? That was,
Add a zero. I was 10. It was 10.
Yeah.
10.
For purposes of the show, you were 12 months old. Okay.
Okay. It's in diapers.
Yeah. You were one. I was in high school. So here's a little baby. So this team is set to like shut down for good. Like they're gonna go bye-bye, forever.
Yeah.
They're on their way to a Division III World Series.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. There's a lot of things going on. So apparently, the team got sick, right? Food poisoning.
Yeah.
But they battled their way through it. And now they got Adam LaRoche's son.
Yep.
That was the reason Adam LaRoche retired from the White Sox, because they didn't want him in the clubhouse.
Yep.
And now he's on this team. Drake, not Kendrick Lamar, Drake LaRoche. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God.
He's on this team. I know you like that line. I know
Good one by you. Good one by you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So I don't really know what – I feel like you have more of a strong take on this. I think it's really interesting. I think the LaRoche thing is the funniest thing to me. It's wild. A team that's no longer going to exist. How does this really work? How does it work, Nick?
Listen, I don't know if I have a strong take. I'm just baffled by this whole thing. So the Birmingham Southern College, it has been around since 1856. That's when it was founded.
Damn.
It was a private liberal arts college, and it's closing May 31st because of financial struggles and the enrollment's down. So they're shutting down this college after 168 years, Fran. They've been around. The baseball team has been very good for a while now. D3. I don't want to say they're better than my Rowan alum, as a Rowan alum here. D3 baseball called their games back in the day, a couple years back. You ever call any games? Really you ever call any games for this team? I never. No Alabama, no Birmingham, Alabama, or Birmingham Southern teams. So I never got to call any of their games, unfortunately. But with LaRoche's, and then you add the twist with Adam LaRoche. So the only reason I got onto this story was shout out to our guy Jovan Alford from Fansided. He sent me this story that it just kept adding layers and layers and layers. So you mentioned it. LaRoche retired because of his son that is now pitching for this team. And LaRoche, I'm talking about the younger LaRoche, apparently he's been huge. He's been huge for them. He pitched 127 pitch complete game for them to continue on in a best of 3 series, I guess, to get to the D3 College World Series. He is a legit stud. And apparently he's played for 3 different colleges, or 3 different community colleges to be exact. So he's sitting around now. He's with this D3 club going viral. They got sick and they're still going. It's a crazy story. There's so many layers. And when you're a play-by-play guy, the main thing you got to do is have the storylines ready to go, Fran. Yeah, you want to have the storyline. I'll tell you what, this team's got a multitude of storylines to go into a game with. It's fascinating. The college is shutting down. The whole team got sick. The Adam LaRoche's son is part of this team. It was the reason he retired, but now he's helping carry a team, pitching his way to the D3 College World Series. Bananas type stuff. This is stuff you can't even make up in a movie, Francis. So you can't even Hollywoodize this. It's that crazy.
They're gonna have to do a movie on it. So do you
want to write it? Me and you, right? Should we write it? Take this to Hollywood?
I don't know. I feel like I'm not a good movie director. I just watch movies. You can do it.
You write it. You will write it. You don't have to direct anything. I don't know how to direct. Kidding me?
Yeah, you definitely don't know how to direct. I don't even know what that means, but I just took a
shot either
because I wanted.
Yeah,
I want to take a shot. But like I think the craziest part I'm reading here is that like, dude, half of the team was hooked up to IVs behind the dugout. Yes. I don't know how much that's true. Like, is that? I don't know how much of that is true. Maybe it is very true.
I saw that too. I guess. I mean,
they're not. I mean, is that exaggerating or? I mean, I don't know. That's crazy to me. But like, how are they able to play?
Yeah, you got to power through, man. Get off the IV, go take a swing. I mean,
imagine that. That's just why. That's like unsafe. I don't even know if that's like.
I love it. Throw some dirt on it. Literally throw some dirt on it and get back out there. Let's go. We got a College World Series to win.
Yeah, man. I don't know what to say. Like honestly, maybe I'm soft.
A little bit. Softy over there.
It could be. Whoa. Okay. All right. Well, yeah. Once you start taking shots, that's when I end the show because we don't.
Well, I do want to add a little Philly thing. I want to answer this real quick, buddy. Real flexing. Shout out to San right there. What do you think? Bone with the errors in the last game, first game of the San Francisco series. He's been struggling defensively this year. He's one of the league leaders in errors.
Yeah, but he's been better though. I feel like he's been better. At least eye test wise, I think even like defensive run saved, he's been better this year. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know. I'm trying to because I think Sosa's playing third tonight, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know. Maybe they felt the need to give him the night off.
Yeah,
I'm not really honestly. I'm not really sure.
Well, and
I think Sosa's playing third, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Sosa's been hot. Maybe they felt like they could give Alec the night off.
No, Clemens is playing third.
Clemens
is playing third. Sosa's at short.
Okay.
He did have those fascinating comments.
It's Eric Miller, right? Eric Miller for the
Giants. He did have those interesting comments too after the game.
Yeah. What did he say? I think I missed it.
It was he said something along the lines of it was I want to get it right, so let me pull it up real quick.
Yeah,
it wasn't great to say the least.
He was talking about himself, or he was talking about...
like he said there's going to be days where you just straight up suck.
Interesting.
He's like,
I stopped saying it now. Maybe he felt like he needed a day off.
Yeah, that's fine. So interesting stuff. He's been fantastic at the dish. So but he has struggled a little bit defensively this year that he did last year. Like I hope he's not taking a step back overall at third base. But I mean, listen, he's not a great defender. Like let's be real, he's not a great defender. He's come a long way. Definitely, he's come a long way. But he's struggled for sure. And let me see where he's at. So he's third. He's tied for third. Eight errors.
Yeah, I mean, look, dude, errors are one of the worst stats of all time. So I don't put merit into that. I don't put.
That's when we end. That's when we end the show. That right there is when we end the show.
Look, man, I'm not worried about Alec Boehm. Give him the night off. That's okay. Maybe him and Topper mutually disagreed to have the night off. Honestly, and Cody's been good when they plugged him in. So I'm not completely mad at that. So shout out to Real Flexin. Appreciate you for tuning in. Shout out to Christian Rao. Also appreciate him tuning in as well. Hope you're doing good, bud. I haven't talked to you in a while, so I hope everything's doing well. See you doing content every single day. You're a machine. I tried to be like you. So, but yes, that is going to do it for another episode of The Shift. This has been episode 55. Make sure that you go follow us on Twitter at @the_shift_media. Did I get that wrong? Did I just get our handle wrong, or is it the Shift Media _? That's so
which
bad.
one? Which one?
Yeah, I know we have a lot of things. I know. I got it right. The Shift _media on Twitter.
Yeah, you're fine.
All right. So Yes, but go follow us. Go vote on the Twitter poll. I'm going to update the Twitter poll real quick before we leave.
Right.
It does have a day. It has 23 more hours that you can vote. Yeah. So make sure you go vote. What is more likely to happen this year? Is it Gunnar Henderson hitting 50 homers? Elly De La Cruz stealing 100 bases? 100% right now, Nick. Elly De La Cruz. That is right now. 100%.
Wow. That's
Elly.
Shocking.
Yeah, I'm shocked too. I figured somebody would at least give Gunnar some love. But I think last time we did, give it some time because I forget what poll we did. I think it was who to start your franchise around. And I think it was I forget who we did. I think we did who did we do? Oh, we did Jackson. We did
Jackson.
Right, Jackson Holiday. We did
4 players. Then we did we did 4 players.
Yeah. And no one gave love to Jackson Holiday early on, but actually as more went on, more people were giving love to Jackson. I think Elly was a part of that. I think I think Elly was a part of it.
O'Neal Cruz.
I don't think so. I know it was already O'Neal and Elly thing.
I think Corbin.
I don't think O'Neal
was. Carroll was a part of it too. Was Corbin?
Yes, Corbin was. Corbin was. Okay. I forget which. There was one more player.
I can't remember.
But I don't remember.
I'm trying to go off the top of my head, but I can't remember.
Yeah, maybe I feel like we would have remembered if it was Skeens.
No, it wasn't Skeens. It definitely wasn't Skeens.
No. But anyway. Anyway, Nick.
Anywho.
All right. Yes. Anywho, Nick, it's been a fun show. Appreciate you, bud. It was fun.
No, I always have a great time. It's always a great time. Oh, should we say? Wait, before we go, should we say where we're going in a couple of weeks?
I mean, yeah, we just talk. Honestly, real quick. Last couple minutes, we can talk about what we got coming up. Planned. Coming. Why can't I speak right now? We got planned coming up. There we go.
Yes,
I can speak now. So yeah, we're working on potentially just how you guys saw us last year. A few places. More specifically, I'll say the Blue Rock Stadium because that was an actual remote broadcast.
Yeah,
we're working on trying to get more remote broadcasts coming up this summer, potentially later this year.
Yep.
Working on that. We will be back. No, this is confirmed. We will be back in Cooperstown for the Fraud Joe Mauer's induction. We're going to be there.
God.
We're going to be...
Oh, no.
We're going to be there for the Fraud's induction, and we're going to be doing a show. We're going to be doing another great show from Cooperstown, just like we did last year.
Yeah.
I'm going to cry, just like I did for Fred McGriff's speech. I'm going to be crying. Why did they let Joe Mauer in? They let Joe Mauer in.
They did. They did.
But yes, Cooperstown, we're going to be back.
Yes. All right, and then I'll say the other one that it's already confirmed. We will be in Baltimore, June 14th?
Yes.
June 14th for Phillies and Orioles. We will be doing a show in the parking lot, recording our show. We're going to go to the game. So if you see us in Baltimore, Phillies, Orioles, we will be there for the first game of that series on the Friday night, I believe. So yeah, we will be there for the Friday game against the Orioles. Cannot wait. Recording an episode of The Shift there. We're going to go watch the game. We'll be out in left field. So our tickets and seats are. Come say hello. It's going to be fantastic, Fran.
Well, I'll have my Harper jersey on. You'll have your Adley jersey on. You know what I'm saying?
I will not. I
will
get a souvenir. I will be getting some souvenirs from that place, from Camden Yards.
You'll get your helmet ice cream with just chocolate, you freaking psycho. I'll be getting my swirl. You know what I'm saying? I'll get my hot Cheetos afterwards as well.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, no Jimmy's for me either. Just ice cream. Just plain chocolate ice cream for me.
I always hated them being called Jimmy's. I always liked them as sprinkles.
Jimmy's, sprinkles. I call them both. I mix and match.
Well, you better mix and match your food going forward, just like your ice cream. Anyway, bam, boom, pow, we're out. We'll talk to you guys later.